the chapter number 8, winds, storms and cyclones, that we are studying. And in this chapter we already considered some concepts which are regarding the winds, storms and cyclones. Actually, we haven't studied about the storms and cyclones. We already studied that how winds are formed and how those monsoon winds are came to India. That also we had considered, and it is due to the uneven heating of Earth. And as we know that our equatorial position on Earth is near to equator, so that's why our area is very hot. That means the climate of India is very hot, and due to which the uh, winds are formed, and those winds are actually referred as a monsoon winds, and they are generally formed during the month of June, July. So we had seen that images also in the previous lecture. Now in this lecture we are going to consider thunderstorms and cyclones. That means how these storms and cyclones are going to be created, that condition we are going to study, and which are the factors they affect the cyclone as well as thunderstorms. All the things we are going to consider in detail in this lecture. Now we know that, or you heard the words, both the words, that means these two words are familiar with you, and I think you have observed, or you had seen the news, or you had seen the newspapers regarding this, that thunderstorms and cyclones, or you also watch the videos regarding that thunderstorms and cyclones. Some movies are also there which are based on this particular type. That means they are also, those movies are showing how thunderstorms are created, how cyclones are created, and how they are impacting the human life, or the area in which those cyclones are formed, how they are impacting that particular area. All the things are shown in those movies also. So you are also familiar with such a type of movies where these particular concepts are shown in that particular movie, which are science fiction movies, those categories actually. Now here actually we are going to consider where that thunderstorm is going to be created. So here the thunderstorms are actually developed in that particular area where the climate is hot, where the climate is hot, then climate is humid, and all these conditions are actually obtained in tropical rainforest region. If we consider that particular area, then that particular area is referred as a tropical rainforest region, and already we had considered about that in previous lecture about the weathers and climate. That means regarding the weather and climate, in that we had considered about these particular area. And we know that India is actually uh, in tropical rainforest region. That means the region of India is considered to be tropical rainforest region, where the climate is generally hot and humid. The climate is going to be hot and humid, and therefore the thunderstorms in such areas, the thunderstorms develops very frequently. That means their proportion is very low. We cannot say like this, after every week that thunderstorm is forming, like this. So very frequently these thunderstorms are developed in such areas, which areas where the climate is hot, humid, or we can say that the tropical areas like India. In such a region the thunderstorms are developed very frequently. Now thunderstorms are actually very frequently in India, where tropical region is there. Now, if we consider the temperature rise, so here the rising of temperature produces strong upward rising winds. So that already we have seen in the previous topic, that during the summer, or at the places which are present near to the equator, the uneven heating of Earth is occurred, and due to that uneven heating, that means rising of temperature, the air is moving upside, which produces very strong upward rising winds. That means their speed is very high. While they are moving upward, that speed is very high, so which is referred as a strong upward rising winds. And these winds are not alone. Actually these winds are not alone. when these winds are moving upwards, they are actually carrying some water droplets. That means along with that air, some water droplets are there, and they are moving upside. And when these winds are moving upside, then their temperature goes on decreasing, and due to which these water droplets are actually freezes when they are moving upside. After moving upside, their temperature is little bit low, and due to which these water droplets which are along with those winds, they freezes. And we know that the weight of the ice is greater than the air, so that's why these freezed droplets are again going to be downside. That means they are again falling downside. So when such a condition is created, when strong upward rising winds are taking water droplets along with them upside, there they are freezing, and after freezes they are again falling down, downside. That means they are coming to the earth. Now here, if we consider the swift movement of these falling water droplets along with the rising air create the lightning and sound. What is happening now? When these water droplets are moving downside in the form of ice, actually they are very small, so we are not feeling that they are icy particles. While coming downside, temperature is going on, and as the temperature is going on, they are again converting into liquid droplets, and then we are getting the rain. So when these swift movement of falling water droplets along with the rising air creates the lightning and sound, and it is the event that we call thunderstorm. When we are going to call it as a thunderstorm, when these water droplets are moving downside, and during the same time the air is rising upside, so that means they are moving opposite to each other. Water droplets are moving downside, suppose this is a water droplet which is moving downside, and during the same time the air is moving upside. That means winds are moving upside, so they are crossing each other. These water droplets and these upside moving air or upside moving winds are crossing each other, and due to which they are giving the friction. That means the friction is occurred between them, and due to that friction the lightning is created, and along with that lightning sound is also created, and such a condition is referred as a thunderstorm. Now here, as that lightning is created due to that movement of water droplets downside, and during the same time that air is rising upside, due to which thunderstorm is created. Now this thunderstorm is nothing but it is the primary stage of cyclone. What is that thunderstorm? Thunderstorm is nothing but it is actually primary stage of cyclone. That means thunderstorm is going to be converted into cyclone, but their condition should be proper. If the condition is favorable, then only that thunderstorm is going to be converted into cyclone. Otherwise that thunderstorm is going to vanish immediately. If and only if the conditions are favorable, then only it can able to convert into cyclone. And here we are going to consider how that thunderstorm is going to convert into cyclone. So here we know that water requires heat when it changes from liquid to the vapor state. Actually, those water droplets, when they are moving upside, then they are in the form of vapor state. And why those are converting into vapor state? Because their temperature is rising. Those water droplets are converted into vapor state. So therefore, before cloud formation, the water takes up heat from the atmosphere, and it changes into the vapor. Why this is happening? Because the atmosphere having the very higher temperature, and that water is taking the temperature or taking the heat from that atmosphere, and then it is converting into the vapor. And when this water vapor changes back to the liquid, forms as a raindrops. So we have seen upwards only that liquid droplets are converted into ice also. So it is happening due to the change of temperature. So when water vapor changes back to the liquid, then during this heat is released. What is happening there? Heat is released to the atmosphere, because that water is absorbing the heat from atmosphere, and again while converting from vapor to the liquid, then again that heat is released to the atmosphere. So this thing is happened continuously. This thing is happened continuously. Water droplets are taking the heat from atmosphere, they are converting into vapor, again that vapor is converting into raindrops, and during this they are releasing the heat to the atmosphere. And when the heat is released to the atmosphere, then the air which is present in that atmosphere, that air is again warmed. So that air again warms, that means the temperature is increasing, and due to which the temperature is raised, and as the temperature goes on rising, then pressure goes on decreasing, due to which this air tends to rise the uh, up and causes the drop in pressure. That means this air is moving upside, and due to which the pressure is dropping very rapidly. The pressure is dropping very rapidly. Okay. When more air rushes to the center of the storm, then this cycle is going to repeated, because all the air which having the high pressure, that is moving to the low pressure region, that means towards the center of the storm. That means here we can say that the center of the storm is having the low pressure, and all the air is rushing to that low pressure region, and this cycle is continuously repeating, and chain of events end with the formation of very low pressure system. Continuously that pressure is decreasing, and therefore the very low pressure system is developed, and high speed winds are revolving around it. That means they are trying to move to the low pressure region, and due to which very high speed winds are revolving around it, and such a weather condition is referred as a cyclone. When such a circular winds are formed, why those winds are circular? Because low pressure region is present at one point, and all the air from the surrounding is tries to move to that low pressure system, and due to which a circular path is created of those winds, and those winds are with very high speed. They are with very high speed revolving around that low pressure region, and they are creating the cyclone, and that particular condition is referred as a cyclone. And if the wind speed, then wind direction, then temperature of the surrounding and humidity are favorable, then they are going to contribute, and then that cyclone is going to be developed. That means its intensity is going to increase again and again due to these favorable conditions. That means not only that pressure is the fact, along with that these four factors are also responsible to develop that wind speed, or to develop that cyclone. Now here you can see two images. The first image is of thunderstorm which creating the lightning, and the second image is of cyclone. You can see that here at the middle one circular point is there, so that is the low pressure region, and all the air from the surrounding is moving to that low pressure. All the air from the surrounding trying to move to that low pressure region, and due to which one whirlpool type structure is formed, and that is referred as a cyclone. It is referred as a cyclone. Okay, so this is the cyclone.